If you're looking for some fun, underrated guns to try out in Warzone, then this is the video for you. Yo, what's up guys? My name is Mint and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be checking out some of the most underrated guns in Warzone. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that sub button so you don't miss out on new videos. I upload Warzone content every single week, so make sure you hit that sub button. Now let's get right into the video. Starting at number 5, we have the M13 and the MP5 combo. Now, if you don't know about the M13, it's basically a second version of the Grau. This thing is a laser. It has zero recoil. And I know you guys heard of zero recoil all over the place, but trust me on this one. You need to try out the M13. This thing literally is point and shoot. Now, with the M13 being a laser, one of the cons to it is that it doesn't do enough damage. Damage-wise, it does not compete with the likes of the AMAX and the AUG. But being that it's a laser, you will hit more of your shots. So you gotta have a trade-off between do you want more damage or do you want to hit more shots. If you hit more shots, you're more likely to get a kill faster. But having played with the M13, you do tend to notice that it takes a lot more bullet to kill a person than it would with an AMAX or the AUG. Now let me say this before we get further into the video. None of these guns can really compete with the meta because the meta is so broken. There's like 3 or 4 guns running Warzone currently and nothing can compete with them. So don't be surprised if you get melted by an AMAX and an AUG while you're using the M13. But it's definitely fun to use. Now moving on to MP5. We all know the MP5. MP5 was the king of Warzone before all these Cold War guns started coming into the meta. So I don't even need to say anything about the MP5. Here's the loadout for the MP5 and here's the loadout for the M13. This combo is definitely worth a try. At number 4, we have the MP5 and the AX50. Let me start off with the MP7. Most of you probably forgot about the MP7. With all the Cold War SMGs coming in, MP7 has taken a backseat as a sniper support. When you think about sniper support, most people think about the FFAR, Mag-10 or the Bullfrog. But don't sleep on the MP7. This thing has some decent range and can put up heavy damage in those mid-range fights. Here's a loadout for the MP7. Give this thing a shot. It definitely brings back the old days of Warzone. Now moving on to the secondary, we have the AX50. Now the AX50 isn't the best sniper by any means. You're definitely going to get beat by an HDR and the likes of the Car 98 and the SPR. And probably even some of the Cold War snipers, as most of them don't even have glints. But the AX50 was one of those original snipers that people used to quickscope with. And you still can with the right attachments. So if you're a quickscoper and you're tired of using the Car 98 or the SPR, give the AX50 a chance. Now some of the cons with the AX50 is that it doesn't do as much damage like the HDR does. You're probably going to get a lot of hit markers, but generally if you hit the head, you should get it down. So that's why this sniper isn't as popular, because people hate getting those hit markers and they rather just use the Car 98, which has a faster ADS time and is a one-shot headshot. Here's the attachments for the AX50 and let me know what you guys think about the AX50 in the comments. Do you even bother with it or do you just use the meta snipers? Now moving on to number 3, we got the PKM and the JAK-12. Now this might seem like an odd combination to some of you since LMGs and shotguns aren't really paired together that often, but this is a heavy damage loadout combo. With the PKM dishing out a lot of damage at range and having a beast of a magazine, you're likely to down a whole squad before you have to reload. Now with this loadout, you might be a little slow on the movement side, but just know that you're going to be doing damage if you're hitting your shots. Here's the loadout for the PKM and this thing is a monster. I know people love their Cold War LMGs, the Stoner and whatnot, but give the PKM a try. In my opinion, this is better than the Stoner since the Stoner has so much recoil. Now moving on to the secondary, we have the JAK-12. For a moment there, people were starting to think the shotgun meta was gonna come back if the FFAR got nerfed, and I was one of those people, but as you guys know, the FFAR received 2 different nerfs and it's still the best SMG in the game. But anyways, don't sleep on the shotguns. If you tried out the Gallo, then you know what I'm talking about. If you get close enough to your opponent, there's nothing that's competing with the shotgun. It's perfect for rushing in, especially if you're playing solos and people love to pop out of nowhere as they're hiding in dark corners of houses. Now the Gallo hits pretty hard, but people forgot about the JAK-12. This thing is a fully automatic shotgun. If you're close enough to your opponents, you're definitely gonna melt them. But if you happen to be in the SMG range, this is definitely gonna lose to the FFAR and the Mag-10. So make sure you're close enough when you're pulling this thing out. But anyways, give this thing a try and let me know how it went. Now moving on to number 2, we have the QBZ and MP5. Now I felt like I should put a Cold War gun in there since it is part of the game. And if the AUG and the M16 weren't broken, you'd definitely see a lot more people using other rifles like the QBZ and the Krig. I don't know if you guys have picked up that white QBZ off the ground, but that thing has incredible strafing speed. Now the QBZ might not do a lot of damage like the AMAX or the AUG, but it's definitely pretty accurate. Combined with the strafing speed, you can probably outgun some of those AMAX or AUG users, and it's pretty fun to use in my opinion. The QBZ and the Krig kind of feel similar to me. They remind me of the M13 and the Grau from MW weapons. Here's a setup for the QBZ and let me know what you guys think of it. And for the secondary, we have the MP5. I keep putting the MP5 in there because I don't see a lot of people running the MW MP5. It's mostly the Mag-10, the FFAR or the Cold War MP5 MP5, but the MW MP5 is still a monster in itself. Now moving on to number 1, we have the M4A1 and the SPR. If you've been playing Warzone since season 1, then you know about the M4A1. The M4A1 was the meta at first, and then people slowly started moving on to the Grau. But the M4 is still pretty good in Warzone. In my opinion, this is the best overall rifle in Warzone ever. You can build this thing as an SMG, you can build this thing as a long range option, and you can use this thing as a sniper support. Definitely one of my favorite guns to use in Warzone, and if I remember correctly, this is probably one of the first rifles I ever leveled up in Warzone. But maybe I'm a little biased, that's why I have it at number 1, but trust me, the M4 does some damage in Warzone. Here's the loadout for the M4A1. I have it set up as a sniper support. Now moving on to the secondary, I got the SPR. People tend to look over the SPR because the Kar 90 is so good in Warzone. The Kar 90 is the perfect sniper. It has amazing damage, it has amazing ADS time, and it has pretty good movement speed. But don't sleep on the SPR. It's literally the same thing, but a little bit slower when you're ADSing. And if you're missing a lot of your shots with the Kar 98, give the SPR a try. It might be just what you need, because when I was using the Kar 98, I tend to miss a lot of shots. It felt a little too quick for me. And then I switched over to the SPR, and I found myself hitting a lot more shots compared to the Kar 98. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but let me know what you think about that. Here's a class setup for the SPR, and give it a shot. You can also put the variable zoom scope on the SPR, which will allow you to zoom in and out, but this is up to you. If you're fine with the regular scope, then that's perfectly fine as well. And that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know how you guys found the video, and if you enjoyed, make sure you guys hit that like button, as it helps me out a lot, and don't forget to hit that sub button so you don't miss out on future videos. If you're looking for more underrated guns to use in Warzone, I have a video of me showing you guys the top 5 non-meta loadouts in Warzone, so go ahead and check that out. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, guys.